Good morning. Welcome to Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Ubebo, taking anchoring this program this Tuesday, December 12, 2023. We have an array of newspapers for review, as you can see on the table this Tuesday. We have Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership, THISDAY, The Guardian, The Punch, and Vanguard, all for review on this first segment of the show. Like we normally do on the program, we like to flag off with Nigeria's most influential leadership. Leadership's leading story today says new policy direction, 1,358 projects threatened as CBN stops intervention funding. New policy direction, 1,358 projects threatened as CBN stops intervention funding. And the riders are Anchor Borrowers Program sees orders to go. 4.6 million farmers companies orders to repay 5.25 trillion naira. Wow, good news. CAF 2023 awards Osimhen, Oshoala, Nandozie emerge African Players of the Year, and of course we have their pictures on the cover of Leadership today. Osimhen, Oshoala, Nandozie, they have emerged African Players of the Year and are also doing Nigeria proud. The Falcons was also named the Team of the Year. Congratulations to Nigeria for this laudable feat at CAF. PDP declares defeated 27 Rivers lawmaker seats vacant is another story gracing the cover of Leadership. PDP declares defected 27 Rivers lawmaker seats vacant. The story continues on page 4 of Leadership. Works Ministry wants budget increased to 1.5 trillion naira. 13.6 billion naira fund. Governor Sule to construct 15-kilometer road in each council. Agency warns passengers over luggage handling at airports. Apex Bank suspends cashless charges as scarcity spreads. Leadership announces Tinubu Man of the Year, Obi Akpoti Uduaghan. Others also get recognitions. This is a continuation of yesterday's former announcement of awardees of Leadership Award this year. And of course, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been nominated as Person of the Year 2023. Above the masthead of Leadership, 144,910 cases pending in federal high courts. Northern lawmakers to build Udumbiri with 350 million naira. Sultan demands justice. We move to the page 3 where we have our stand. Our stand today is on decoding state budgets. Decoding state budgets. With that, we move to the back page where we have Tuesday column with Ray Murphy. Ray Murphy is writing on palliatives, Syria failed efforts against poverty. Palliative, Syria failed efforts against poverty is a column you will not want to miss. You want to find out how efforts to alleviate poverty has failed in Nigeria. Ghana Must Go says groom flees as NDLEA storms drug contest pre-wedding party. And Ghana Must Go, the answer is, and the bride. No, that was what happens to the bride. Find out more as you log on to the website of Leadership, www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, we have another paper, and that is THISDAY for review. Tinubu says, I'm not satisfied with Nigeria's security situation. I'm not satisfied with Nigeria's security situation, Tinubu vows not to relent until insecurity is over. Says security remains his government's top priority. Grieves again over Cardinal bombing. We have the picture of Osimhen and Oshuala as best players in 2023. Congratulations to Nigeria. Edo 2024, I'm nobody's candidate. Right man for the job. I'm nobody's candidate. I'm right man for the job, says Asue Ighodalo. Plot to impeach Fubara takes new turn as Rivers lawmakers defect to APC. Governor summons emergency ESCO meeting over development. PDP Labour parties, others want INEC to declare defector seats vacant. Ijaw National Congress urges Tinubu to call Wike to order. APC chair welcomes defectors to party. Above the masthead, federal government may increase 2024 budget if revenue improves next year, says Wale Edun. Osimhen, Oshuala, Nnadozie, Super Falcons are Africans' best. Still on the cover of THISDAY. For more on these inside stories, log on to the website of THISDAY, www.thisdaylive.com. From THISDAY, we move over to The Punch. The Punch leading stories on the developing story in Rivers State. And it says Rivers crisis. PDP moves to replace 27 pro-Wike assembly defectors. Rivers crisis. PDP moves to replace 27 pro-Wike assembly defectors. Aggrieved legislators no longer Rivers assembly members. Declares seats vacant. PDP writes INEC. Defected lawmakers threaten to reject Governor Fubara's request. APC hates defection. We have Tinubu condemns police station burning. Tells army to protect democracy. Of course, we have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu observing guide of honor there on the picture gracing the Punch cover. Northern Rest planned 350 million naira lifeline for Cardinal bombing victims. Husband flees as EFCC arraigns Kano couple for 410 million naira fraud. Gome adopts Abuja woman, 3 children. And above the masthead, Labour fumes as federal government stops 35,000 naira award payments. CBN cancels large depositors' fines amid naira scarcity. Osimhen, Oshuala win Africa Footballer of the Year awards. These are leading stories on The Punch today. For more, log on to the website www.punchng.com. With that, we move to Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard's leading story says, banks ration cash as naira scarcity intensifies. Banks ration cash as naira scarcity intensifies. There's a leading story on Vanguard. POS operators hike transaction fees. CBN suspends charges on large cash deposits. Energy security, households bemoan as LPG price rises 23% to 12,000 naira. CBN suspends application for new loans under intervention funds. Says banks now responsible for loan recovery. Insecurity, I won't lose battle to keep Nigeria safe, Tinubu. Federal government to return 27.5 trillion naira appropriation bill to NAS for increase. 4 family members killed as government attack Plateau community. Judges must live above suspicion, FHAC Chief Judge. And above the man said we have P&G exit. More companies may leave Nigeria. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN. Rivers defection. PDP Labour Party kick as APC welcomes 27 lawmakers. North mustn't present PDP candidate in 2027. Bode George. All these and more as you log on to the website of Vanguard, www.vanguardngr.com. From Vanguard, we are on to the last paper on the menu today, Tuesday, December 12, 2023. And of course, the Guardian's leading story says, U-Tide, Nigerians groan as basic needs exceed real income. The Guardian's lead story says, "You tied, Nigerians grown as basic needs exceed real income." And of course, we have graphic illustration there beneath the leading story. Nigerians spent 61.08 trillion naira on food, other household items, services between January and June 2023. 90% plus Nigerians cannot afford a healthy diet. 31.52% Nigerians food inflation. 27.3% October headline inflation. Exchange rate at 1,206 per dollar. That is courtesy of MBS. And we have Nigerians spent 61.08 trillion naira on food, other household items / services between January and June 2023. And of course, for the prices index, we have food commodity 50 kg rice selling at 27,000 naira in May, and now is 60,000 naira, and that is 122% increase. A basket of fresh tomatoes 40,000 naira at May is now goes for 50,000 naira, which goes to 100,000 naira, and that's about equates to 150% increase. We have 50 kilogram bag of beans which sold at 22,000 naira in May, now selling 50,000 naira, which equates 127% increase. We have a carton of noodles which sold at 4,890 naira and is now 6,000 naira, equating to 25% increase. We have 25 liters of groundnut oil which sold at 29,000 naira to 36,000 naira presently, equating to 24% increase. And last on the table, we have 25 liters of palm oil which sold at 20,000 naira, now selling at 30,000 naira, at 50% increase. There's the box graphic illustration of the headline story, "You tied, Nigerians grown as basic needs exceed real income." Beneath that, we have corruption, illicit financial flow clause cost Nigeria others $88.6 billion yearly. Corruption, illicit financial flow cost Nigeria others $88.6 billion yearly. The news continues on the business page 15. J awaits those forging Akeredolu's signature, says commissioner. Nigeria in darkness again as national grid collapses. Nigeria in darkness as national grid collapses again. Rivers lawmakers defection, PDP Labour Party demand fresh poll as Fubara summons emergency ESCO meeting. Utilizing debt for nature swap to spur climate action investments. This is the news analysis on page 4 of the paper. CBN response to cash squeeze stops charges on large deposits. CBN response to cash squeeze stops charges on large deposits. And which takes us to the last cover story today. Osimhen, Oshuala, Nandoze win as Nigeria sweeps CAF awards. Congratulations once again to the winners and to Nigeria, the beneficiary. So that is the last cover story today on The Guardian. Today, Tuesday, December 12, 2023. For more on these headline stories, inside stories, the editorial, and of course news pages, log on to the website of The Guardian, www.guardian.ng. So with that, we've come to the end of the first segment of the show, Inside Nigeria, what we review front page headline stories. But don't go away, we have a guest coming in this second segment of the show where we dwell on some developing stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show where we review frontline page stories on some select newspapers. My name is Winifred But once again, and as you can see, my guest in the studio is a public affairs analyst, Hashim Suleiman. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. How are you?
Like I said just before you came in, I said you look impervious to the economic realities in Nigeria today. Yeah.
Yeah, I put in a lot of work. That's the truth. For a long time.
I wish I could be like you to also put in
there are
work.
a whole lot
I
of
come out
Nigerians.
looking like this.
There are a whole lot of Nigerians. Do you know how many people move bags of beans from the north to the south every day? And the profit is about 400 to 500%.
Wow, that's
so
exactly
imagine
what
people in that sector, what they're making. So
yes,
like,
that's what
that's
the
Nigeria.
story, the headline story in the Guardian today. Nigerians grown as basic needs exceed real income, and it gave a graphic description that a 50-kilogram bag of beans used to be 22,000 naira in May, but now sells for 50,000 naira, which is about 127% increase.
Yes, and even this 50,000 is only maybe down here from Abuja down north. If you go to Port Harcourt and Lagos and the rest, where these things are moved from there to there, you'll see that it's much more than that. Definitely, I know about this because I lived in the south. So I used to I used to talk with all the Hausa. So for example, I was in the creeks in Bayelsa, and I see some Hausa guys, so I'm curious to ask them, what are you doing? Some of them are into cow, venturing from the north, they send it to them, some beans.
However, but there's another thing that is also contributing to scarcity and of these foodstuffs. We're having a situation whereby many people, as we're talking about in the north, they hoard these foodstuffs.
Yeah.
Why is that so?
Business.
Is there anything that can be done about it?
Because so the thing is,
major contributor to the food.
No, so the thing is,
right? Having.
People it's business. Farming is business. Nobody wants to farm. Nobody wants to be a Father Christmas. I just don't want to farm just because you have to eat. So it's a business, and that's why people are encouraged, especially young people, to go into farming. But a lot of these young people now, if you tell them come and go and farm, they'll feel no, I've gone to university of this, university of that, and I'm a graduate, and so. But the fact is, there are a whole lot who didn't even go to the school. But trust me, they can buy you and your degree if they can. So the thing is just
what
about
can actually be done about it? Because that is MBS said our food security is about 27. Sorry, currently Nigeria's food inflation is 31.52%.
Great. So you know what can be done
from October it was 37.3%.
In the food sector now, what can be done to check some of these problems is irrigation. Irrigation farming is farming that you can do outside rainy season. So if you go to states like Kano, past governors in those olden days like Audubon were futuristic enough, so they did a lot of irrigation channels. So if you go to Kura local government now, you will see that they farm all through the year. But how many more communities have such tendencies to be able to farm through the year? So once rainy season is over, the capitalists go buy those products off, hoard them like you say, and then there's not going to be any more farming. There's just going to be little irrigation farming till another farming season. So naturally you will have this gap. But so I feel like state governments now, just like the Audubon did it, need to see the need to invest in irrigation, create channels of water everywhere. You understand? Supply pumps to people, give them as more like all of these palliatives, and they'll farm all through the year, and so you have food coming. So I think that's one of the areas that really some of these gaps can be filled. Yeah.
So except that is done, Nigeria, there will be no end actually to food insecurity.
Well, we'll have to keep importing, but then then there will come and be competition. But to build the internal capacity to be able to we'll have to look the way of irrigation. Very, very important.
Thank you so much. Now we are going to be talking more on the developing story taking place in Rivers State. Yesterday, news was the media was awash with the reports at 27 pro-Wike lawmakers in the state House of Assembly have defected to the ruling party APC. And the Punch has the headline story: PDP moves to replace 27 pro-Wike Assembly defectors. Why this issue has continued to throw up a lot of controversy and arguments about what does the new Electoral Act 2022 say about this?
I think that's not. Yeah, I think that issue of defection. I'm not sure it's even an electoral act. Okay. I think it's a constitutional provision where if there is no division within your party, and you have no right. Now you see. This
yes, but that has always been there. But we still see some lawmakers and even governors defecting on their party. So what can actually be done about it? Because I know that if there is no like that in the electoral act, I know that there were moves that let it be captured so that this thing can be put to rest.
Okay, so for me, right, if you want to talk about things that can be done to curtail this, to be honest with you, the solution cannot be in the short term. It cannot even in the mid-term. It will perhaps be a long-term one because at the end of the day, these things we get to do. It's only the judiciary that can interpret some of these things. And it gets there and then you get all sorts of judgments about them. So at the end of the day, one will not waste its time to invest in assuming that these things can be fixed. However, what we are missing so much in this country, and especially by the politicians and even the citizenry, is that we always forget that there has to be consequences for actions. And so a lot of the times people will do certain things and they will be oblivious, and even Nigerians will even be fair to you to even be reminding you that no, the way you are going, stop it, because there will be consequences, and a lot of the times people will ignore. And when these consequences come biting back, then we ought to now go haywire and blame every other person else but ourselves for some of those consequences. And I think that's just what's happening. Why it takes simple integrity to understand that you won in a party's platform, and so you should stick to it. I schooled in Yola, and then there used to be Abdurrahman Adamu. Abdurrahman Adamu was in APP, and he never left AMPP forever. That was when Umar Yar'Adua became president and said he wanted to do government of national unity. The AMPP looked at the whole party and saw Abdurrahman Adamu to only be the one who has the needed integrity from Adamawa. He's the Minister Interior. Then go and check it, Abdurrahman Adamu. So he came on board, and still he stuck to his principle of being an ANPP man, but then for the fact that his party has agreed to join Yar'Adua to do government of national unity, I'm only here to serve Nigeria. Now, these are all the things that are lacking now. People cannot, for simple. So now you this, all of this, you understand what I'm trying to say, and then you expect that. So who wins in Rivers at the end of the day if this continues like this? Nobody wins at the end of the day, and then the state is thrown into crisis.
PDP and Labour Party said they have written INEC. They said they should declare those seats of the 27 lawmakers vacant. So how far can they really go? Given the fact that many Nigerians are also losing faith in the judiciary. And don't forget
exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
When Umahi defected, then of course up to Supreme Court, they said this constitution actually said lawmakers, but one would have expected that they would have said, maybe the constitution only comes short of calling all the offices. They could have also have included, but that since they are also a policy court,
exactly.
But they said lawmakers. So how far do you think they can actually go in having?
I told you it's a long term. Trust me, you cannot, because at the end of the day, they are pro-Wike. Wike is here in Abuja, and he probably has his plugs to hold and all. So for me, I really don't look at that area, but I look at the fact that Honorable Minister Nyesom Wike himself, I think really needs to tone down and perhaps listen more. He will pick up a whole lot from some of the things that he feels maybe they are stupid Nigerians are saying. He will pick out a whole lot, because really at the end of the day, look, those who even maintain their stronghold of states, like our president, he didn't do it. How many times do you really in your life have seen Asuwaju on TV or anywhere talking? He's somebody who talks extremely less. He does whatever he does that he wants to do, and it's working for him, but it's working for him quietly at that. Do you understand? But in this case now, Perhaps there's a
however,
desire you have,
yes,
but it's appearing to not be coming around, and then the whole state
but
is
however,
now...
but the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, did say that it was too early in the day for the governor, that is Fubara, to try to dismantle his own.
So let's be
political
honest.
structure.
Now, you
And-
see, there has to be
and
honesty in
see,
this kind
you
of...
know,
yeah.
yes, but you know, when you are looking at issues, you look at it from both sides.
Of course,
the divide.
of course you have
And my
to.
take is that before we all saw the role Wiki actually played in installing Fubara as
There
the
is no
governor.
doubt about that.
Sorry?
There is no doubt about that.
Yes, no doubt about that. And of course, some conventions, dues may have been given, which Fubara may have agreed to. So why now suddenly say you want to change the
Yeah, exactly.
goalpost?
So that's the thing I'm trying to say.
You understand?
You see,
Because that's why I say you should look at
if
it
you're a
from both
follower
sides.
of the social media, very well. Even today now, if you go and check it, and you see, we can only move forward in this country if we agree to speak facts and be honest with one
Yes.
another. And that's why if you go to Twitter now, young Nigerians are churning out past videos of the honorable minister himself,
Yes, I saw the video.
dismissing all of these things that are happening
He
today.
was never going to do
Yeah,
that.
he
Even
spoke
the day
about
of
even
handing
how
over.
nobody should move, it takes integrity
Yes.
for you to win on the platform of a political party and remain in there. So they're trying, so the thing is
You
now
remember
it becomes...
you mentioned integrity
That's
at the
what I'm
beginning
saying.
on. So
Yeah.
it still boils down to integrity.
So that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, everything that is happening is a consequence of Minister Wike's political choices, and the consequences are coming. Look, politics, they said, we didn't create politics and democracy. Some people did, and they even called it political science. It's a science. So it's just like in chemistry now, you carry a different chemical and mix with another, there's going to be explosion. So it's the same thing in politics. There are methodologies of going about them if you want sustainability. And that's why a lot of people have no grudges with the fact that Asuwaju became the president, because he did follow the politics appropriately without noise. You could never hear him in a crisis.
But we
You
also
never
saw
hear
the
him.
same thing almost also playing out in Lagos State that time with Ambode.
Yeah, but
who didn't go for it, could not.
That's what I'm.
get the
But
ticket
but
for it.
was
So
there a fight? Was there no?
Of course,
If you
they
look
didn't
at,
have to
he
come to
left.
the
That's
public.
what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make you understand. He left out quietly. There was a quiet primary conducted. Somebody else won. All stakeholders were aligned, and then you move. But in this case now, are you having already yesterday
But you know,
so many political parties?
It also happened during the fashion last time. It's just that the
It did
outcry.
also. I think there was
outcry
no. So
was
now,
much.
yes. So what I'm
Remember,
telling
the
you is
outcry
that
was much.
the management of the Lagos own model, I think you would really give it to them.
Yes.
At least the management looks more, it may not be 100%,
Same.
but the management looks much more. I think every stakeholder has accepted the, but in this case, what you're having now is that yesterday, I think APC and some SDP members have all moved. Every day, people in the state are daily moving in droves. I mean, people who are not 27 years, you can be, but everybody in the state now are appearing to be with the governor. So how is all these things going to be
So,
managed?
I'm still asking you again. Did Fubara try to assert himself too soon?
So this thing is all about individuals.
Don't you think so? Because he has not really actually established or make his man be able to win the hearts of more lawmakers before taking that
Yes.
I don't want to call it ignoble action, but don't you think that because just
But
barely
he's the
6
executive
months,
governor.
6 months too early to have
Yeah, so
solidified
I
his
can't
hold.
sit here and preempt what you would do with power or what the next person will do with power. You can't preempt that. And that's why the advice is, unless you are sure that your game is on top of it, check Kano. Kwankwaso, everybody understand the history between him and Ganduje. He took him all along up until he gave him governor. Today they are the most
That was when
biggest
the
adversaries.
story
Do you understand
came.
what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So now Kwankwaso or anybody or me cannot be responsible for Ganduje's actions back then. Now again, nobody can be responsible for Fubara's action, but the law recognizes him as the executive governor of Rivers State. How do you want to deal with that?
Now, going forward, what are your permutations? How is it going to end up?
Yeah, to be honest, so it has become a very, very, very dicey situation, in the sense that don't forget it has become tribal also, because since the coming of democracy in 1999, a riverine has never become a governor.
Yes.
So that sentiment now is
It's
strong.
not
Now there are 23 local governments in Rivers State. 10 of those local governments are controlled by the Rivera and the Ijos. The Ogun is controlled, I think, about 4. You have the Indonis there, the Egbema and the Ahoda and all of them controlling a large chunk. And you have only Port Harcourt and Ogbeapo as the Igwe speaking. Do you understand? And so look at the numbers now, for example. So that means even the president has to be interested into the security implications of some of these things that are actually coming up. Because at the end of the day, if you have to look at it extremely critically before taking any action. So the president has to be interested in this because Rivers is not only economically important for us, it's also politically important for us. So definitely the peace in Rivers State means a whole lot to Nigeria, especially now that we're complaining. Now in the budget, we have shot up our production to about 2 million barrels. And we're only doing 1.4 right now. So the peace in Rivers is going to be central to you achieving that your 2 million barrels. And so the president, this matter is of utmost importance to the president. And I really expect him to probably put a nationalist think tank group, something like that, to look into it and advise him on what to. I saw Chief Edwin Clark also write an open letter to the president on the matter and all that. So I think these are some of the ways that we can go about it.
Thank you so much. Well, let's hope that peace and calm will return to that state, because Rivers State, since even during Amechi's time,
it's always come.
The lawmakers.
None of the governors has ever respected the predecessor from 1990 to date. So
90 date. So it's
perhaps,
been like that. But let's hope that it ends well for Bara. And like I told somebody, I said, I hope the people that are beating drum for him, they are doing very well for him, because it's not enough for you to.
No, it just appears to be that he has the goodwill. I think he has the goodwill, definitely. Perhaps the minister has more clout.
There's a key word you use, integrity, because we also have that same scenario played out during Peter Obi's time, tenure when he was governor. We also had that the state has Anambra State House of Assembly then where PDP dominated, and they even impeached him. You forgot?
Yeah, I remember.
He went to the court.
He went back again.
And he got his money. But the
again.
court we had then and the court that we have now, I don't. A lot has for me, I think that a lot has changed.
Yeah, but I feel
would actually reinstate an ABGA.
But guess what? All these activities coming up, they're going to help to shape a lot. Because even the president now is going to recognize certain areas that are untouchable. Now you can see the Ondo issue. The last time they came, they said they should go back and maintain that. Now we're reading that the president has called them back to say they should go and give the deputy governor, which is the appropriate thing to do.
They should go and go.
Yeah, they should go and give. That's the appropriate thing to do now. So some optics are not needed. Like all these optics in Rivers now, they are not needed. The president doesn't need all this plenty drama. So his appointees also need to be careful in creating unnecessary drama for him.
Yes, like my editor-in-chief wrote in his Friday column. He said, it just went about, because Akere Dolu, the present governor of Ondo State, was the NBA chairman.
Yes,
when I said it was called that should hand over to Jonathan. But anyway, he came to now, he didn't want to.
So these are all the things. These are all the consequences I'm saying. The people should not forget there will be consequences. So let's manage these things amicably. When the Niger issue came, we managed. The president managed. At the end of the day, we're good now. All of these issues, Kano is there. Don't forget that Kano is there cooking somewhere.
I was about
even
to say
Plateau
that.
Is there
Plateau
in
is
the cooking
there, and even Nasarawa is also there, because I've heard that
you understand.
Yes, these are issues. I'm just
a lot of them have security implications.
That's what
they have security implications.
I think that is where you actually took the words out of my mouth. The president has to manage these things very well, because it's just like lighting.
And look at the states that are involved now: Rivers, Kano, Plateau. These are volatile states. These are volatile states. They're volatile.
They are. I just hope the authorities are listening, and so that they can do right and guide against any attempt to destabilize the polity. Because as it is, there's a saying that a hungry man is an angry man.
Absolutely.
So I do not give opportunity for disgruntled
to take over
the hungry Nigerians to take over
sometimes even opposition to take over. They can latch on it.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And now let's just talk too another story that is also uh, even contributing to the harsh economic realities we are facing about this ration cash. Banks ration cash as naira scarcity intensifies. That's the leading story on Vanguard. Even though the Supreme Court has come out with announcement that no, that the old notes and the new notes should still continue, but we are not having that. What is happening? You can actually have a cash again from your bank ATMs.
Yeah, so I think the basic idea of the CBN around this is they feel that there's so much liquidity out there, so they feel they want to mop it back into the banks.
At this
But that's where I'm trying to go now. Now, how is this current policy now different from what Emefiele tried to do? Because his idea then was to mop the cash back. He felt that the cash was not in the banks. It was more with people, and so they felt, okay, bring back all the cash so that at least Nigeria can even know how much cash it has. And that's why they said, come exchange with the new one. So as we are getting, at the end of the day, we must have got all the cash that we have. And then we have an idea, and they're all at least banked. And then they put limits to withdrawals. So at the end of the day, they are encouraging, because with digital transactions, you can be able to transact, to track and make your calculations of how much you have in the system, how much the GDP and all of that. So for me, I think this is more like the CBN actually making a sense of that policy. I'm probably trying to bring it back to another way. The only difference here now is that the both nairas would, but you will not even find them.
Yes, but in my view, I also think, in addition to what you just pointed out, I think that prior to this youth side, knowing that people were conscious that December will so come, and they were holding all these notes. Many Nigerians still have these notes hoarded in their homes. There's those that have money, and even not people like us. So that's exactly what happened. So we have just few now in the bank.
Yeah, so that's the point. See, when you make the naira scarce, right? Somebody actually explained this thing to me during the Emefiele time, a professional. He told me the importance of that thing if they had actually allowed it to go. But maybe politics came in.
But the thing is that Emefiele didn't plan ahead for that policy. That's why it didn't work.
Oh, really? Because look, by the time Supreme Court I think people had started to adjust. Do you know even now the effect of what Emefiele did is still felt? Do you know what? As small as people selling kola nuts now have their bank account numbers, OP or Money Point, they'll give it to you. It
actually worked.
Trust me, go and check now. Everyone, I stopped to buy kola nut and I'm like, but I have to pay you by transfer. You say, Money Point, you got OP for me. One of those two. Some of them use Access a lot too. I noticed. So these are the things they were already adjusting. Now this also, I'm sure that's what they want to do, because the implication of this is that it even has tendencies of bringing down dollar rate and because when you make the naira scarce, people now, if I have a dollar, for example, I go to Zone 4, I want to change, and Zone 4 doesn't have naira, I might have to be forced to tell them maybe I want to make a transfer to them. And usually if you go to Zone 4, transfer buying of dollar is cheaper than there's a way it is that this whole cash stuff will even make the dollar rate to start to, because when you make the naira scarce, some economists feel that the dollar will also drop.
And I was also thinking again for this dollar rate reduction. Maybe banks should say, all these Western Union, maybe it's high time banks will just say, no, we don't give you again dollar. We can change it for
you. Naira, and
exactly. I really thought about it, because you're not taking your money to,
because it's more like an investment. If you take the dollar and you go to the black, you make more. Exactly, really, because it's coming to Nigeria and you're going to do your transactions with it in Nigeria.
What was being done then.
Exactly. So change it to him in naira and let him go and do what he has to do.
If you're in Abuja, go to Bureau de Change and get higher.
So I agree with you on that, definitely. So we work to see, but I think they have just recognized the policy is needed to bring down the inflation and all, and they're bringing it back in. So as long as it's going to achieve the aim, politics truncated that, which is okay. I mean, politics still happens. It's science, like I say. People will pull out their strategies. But if the CBN now feels really that it's important and it will achieve the necessary economic gains, why not? We only want the economy to get better.
Thank you so much. Now, just before we go, at least Nigeria has something to chat about. There's something, a sport that binds Nigerians together, and that is the issue of sport, football. Nigeria won big
One
yesterday
big, one
night
big,
in
one
CAF. What
big,
do you have
yeah.
to say about that?
No, no, but
Osimhen,
these are
Oshoala,
Nigerians for you.
Nando's,
So when I came in and you were
Yes.
talking about how the economy can be good for some people, these are all the examples.
it's really,
He's just a
really-
young boy who grew up in Lagos. Emmanuel Amunike found him, you understand what I'm saying, and put him out there, and look at him, like he's already there. He's an assistant to doing so well, inspiring the
well.
women, you know, to go out there and do what they have to do. And this is just the
And
way
then
out of,
Nando's as a goalkeeper,
yeah.
he made goalkeeper, and Falcon was also got
Name the
award as
team
the
of, yeah,
team of the year.
of course. It's
As a good
it's
one for
awesome.
Nigeria.
It's awesome.
It is at least
It
something to
empowers
check
the
out.
young people. You know, all this and some of the things we're saying is meant to inspire the young people to understand, like, go out there. Yes, we understand there will be hardships along the way. It may not be as easy as you may find in other climes, but despite, you can still persevere, move through it, and at the end of the day, be whatever it is that you want to be. So this is Nigeria. This is Nigeria at its best. This is Nigeria. You can see.
Yeah, Nigeria.
Typical of it,
Congratulations
yeah.
once again to Nigeria.
Yes,
It's a well-deserved award. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It's
thank
always
you,
a pleasure to have you on the program. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to having you same time next week on
Thank
the
you,
program.
thank you.
Our viewers, this is where we draw the curtain on today's presentation of your breakfast show Inside Nigeria. It was brought to you on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Kwebo, and I had my guest, my Tuesday guest in the house, Hashim Suleiman.
Thank you.
Thank you so much once
Thank
again.
you.
So till we come your way again, till I come your way again, same time, same station tomorrow. Here's wishing you a beautiful day. See you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Honest.
Leadership TV for God